Okay, so here's my bracket. Number one, I have Dante Moore. Uh, Number two, I have Julian Sayin. Who are your one and two?
Well, why don't you get your bracket? Then, well, I mean, my one and two are Dante and Julian.
Okay, so we agree there. We agree there.
Yes, yes.
Number three, I have Arch Manning.
Number three is Arch Manning.
Okay. Number four, I have John Mateer. Who do you have?
He didn't even make my 16.
Wow.
Yes.
I feel like we're going to have some disagreement here. All right. Do you want to just go through my bracket and then we'll go to yours?
Yeah, why don't we do that? Because I think that'd be too confusing.
Okay. So up at the top, we have Dante Moore versus number 16, DJ Lagway. It's kind of a homer pick, but I had to throw him in there. At 16, you're splitting hairs anyway. Dante Moore wins and moves on to the Elite Eight. The 8-9 matchup, I have Sam Levitt versus Gunnar Stockton. I think this is you're betting on potential versus ceiling, or potential versus floor. And so I've got Sam Levitt moving on with the greater potential. Number 5-12 matchup, I have Trinidad Chambliss versus Brendan Sorsby. I think this kind of ties into how I think the teams will perform next year. I think Ole Miss regresses, and I think Texas, I spelled it wrong, but Texas Tech moves on there, and I think Texas Tech performs next year. 4-13, I have John Mateer and Damon Williams. I think John Mateer is the better quarterback there. I have him moving on to the Elite Eight. Arch Manning, 3 versus number 14, Bryce Underwood. I have Arch Manning moving on, but I think Bryce Underwood deserves some inclusion in this list just from the raw talent perspective. If he can put it together with Kyle Whittingham, you never know what could happen. So there's just, I'd say, a little Cinderella upset potential there. I have CJ Carr at 6. I debated putting him higher, but he's kind of a true freshman, or he was a true freshman last year.
That's exactly where I have him at.
At 6?
Yep.
Yeah. And then I have him versus number 11, Jaden Maeva. I have CJ Carr moving on. 7, Darian Mensah versus 10, Josh Hoover. I have Josh Hoover moving on. I think they've got a 10-7 upset here. Darian Mensah, of course, at Miami.
You are crazy.
Hey, you know what? You got to pick some upsets. You can't just go all chalk, all right? You got to pick some upsets. I think Josh Hoover will do really well at Indiana. I think Darian Mensah will also do well at Miami, but I think we just saw Indiana, Miami, so I had to go with the winner there. Julian Sayin versus I have 15, Lenore Sellers. I think he's kind of a sleeper in the SEC. He could really surprise some people. I don't think his team is going to be competing for national championships, but I think individually, I think he could really put on a stellar year. I have Julian Sayin coming out of there. And after that, we've got Sayin versus Josh Hoover. Unlike this year in the Big Ten, I've got Ohio State pulling out victorious. And I've got CJ Carr upsetting Arch Manning and moving on to the Final Four. I think I'm high on CJ Carr this year. I think he is accurate and he can run enough. He's not a super mobile quarterback, but he's willing to use his legs when necessary. I think he makes really good decisions, especially for a freshman. And and I've got Brendan Sorsby versus John Mateer. And this might have been a situation where you can get mad at the committee for seating Brendan Sorsby so low. There's an argument there, but I've got Sorsby moving on to number 12 versus Dante Moore. 1, Dante Moore wins and Julian Sayin wins, and then Dante Moore is your champion.